Hello guys, it's Lee. I'm in the shop. Saturday morning. It's kind of cold outside right now. It's February, end of February, 20 something. But anyway, 1 year ago, roughly, on my Sears Suburban 15, I disconnected the points and I added an electronic coil. Now, and in that video, I started it, ran it, and it worked. Then, in my mind, that was such a big deal, I just kind of set it over to the side. One thing it didn't do is when I turned the key off, I never hooked the coil up to a ground, to the key switch to shut it off. So I'm going to show you what I did about this. This is the coil. The wire going to the ignition switch. Now I had to drill me a new hole. Ideally it come through that one, but it was too hard to run the wire through there. But this wire used to run from the key switch, which by the way, that's where it is. That should say M for magneto. But that wire did run all the way around through here, right here to the points. And that's where I cut it off at. So this points, under this, covers the points, it's disconnected. So basically, but that wire was already ran to the magneto, so I just had to go here. I got a lot of good slack in there. I'm hoping that's not too sharp and to cut anything. But I had to drill a hole there because when I put this cover on, it's all snugged up in there. I had to, drill the hole because when the cover goes on, it would have cut it. So I had to go in the backside, which was not a big deal. But I got it all hooked up and I tested it earlier. So anyway, hopefully that won't rub. I could get a rubber grommet, but I don't think it's that serious. I've had the gas tank off twice today. Of course, I got a new battery. But, this bolt, if you got a Sears Suburban, because my buddy Keith down the road on his 8, his came loose, so that must be a common thing. I didn't have a lock nut to put on there, so hopefully it won't cause trouble. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But anyway, that's your magneto wire. It's just running right through here, right here, hooked up to this, and it does work. So before I put that cover on there, I just wanted to show you what I was doing. And I've been tightening up nuts and bolts around on this thing. And this is just one I'm gonna drive around the yard and, I might plow. It does have a 3-point hitch on the back, and I'll do some plowing in the springtime, but it's not like I'm gonna run it real often with a mower deck and all that, so I don't have it. Plus, the thing is, this has points. The reason I'm doing all this is because I'm not real good with points. Evidently, I've cleaned them 2 or 3 times. It seems like every 6 months I lose fire. And I have to get in there and clean it. I know I should have got new for it, but I didn't. And I thought I would do this instead. So anyway, let me up some of this because I'm starting to put together now. And we'll come back and see how it is. So I had to take the belt off the whole bit. They got the flywheel belt here, got the cover. Got that cover. So let's see how it progresses. Hey, if you like videos like this, subscribe to my channel. All right, guys. So I got it all buttoned back up. As far as I'm gonna do today, I'm not putting the hood on for a few days. So I got all that tightened up, got the belt on. I'm working on that choke right here, cable. I had to make my own a couple of years ago. I did add a fuel shutoff. It didn't have that before because I don't know, on this carburetor, maybe I just need to take it apart and look at it, but it'll leak from time to time. But not when it's running, but when it's sitting there. So fuel shut off is on there. So this, if it starts, I'm going to attempt to put it in gear and drive it. And this will be the first time this thing's moved in a couple of years. So let's see. Just as a pointer or tip, I always push my mowers out on the porch to start them up. I'm not so worried about the fumes as I've had them catch on fire before if I didn't do something just right. So that's why it's out there. The most exciting thing to me is that it turned off, because it hadn't turned off in 2 or 3 years. I always had to pull the spark plug. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so this has been sitting there for a couple years, not drivable, just because I've been too, well, I didn't really know what I was doing. I had to sit there and think on this one. It's taking me all day. That's why I didn't record all of it, because it's taking me all day to get this done. But see, it's got that 3-point hitch. See, I got all kind of implements for that. And these tires, see, look at that. It's starting to come loose. But see, that was filled with some kind of foam, like real heavy foam. I mean, it's everything I can do to pick those tires up. Plus, I got the wheel weights on it. So I'm just going to run them till they won't run anymore, because I don't know how I'd get that off the rim. 3-point hitch. Got the wheel weight on this side. I'm happy to have that fuel shut off. That thing just needs to be run, so I'll probably just get out here and run it for a while and just drive it around. And like I say, it turning off was a big deal. If you have ever done a conversion like this on a Sears Suburban 15, make a comment about it. Or if you just still use points, make a comment about that too. I know some people are going to hate me for disconnecting the points and going that way, but that's just what I had to do. And after a few days of running it pretty hard, once I'm convinced it's good, I'll put the hood back on. Then that'll be that. All right, I'm out. Hey, if you like garden tractor videos, look at all these. I got a Munster mower right there. I got some front end loaders. I got a couple wheel horses with power steering. So if you like that kind of video stuff, subscribe to my channel. All right, I'm out.